What a dang. This is the Black Pot, aka Cuckoo Show, number where we speak truth to power. And of course, from the news reel, we keep it real. Here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. We are in the service of God and country, and we are speaking truth to power. Nobody is bigger than the truth. Hear me now. Watch me. Hey, now today the very first story we are looking at is here. And I need you to share the broadcast, my brother, my sister. We are live on Facebook. And our Facebook page is 92.73 FM. 123 FM. 3 FM as in the Trinity. Watch me. Now the very first story I'm looking at is taken from Ghana Web, and it says, would you have embarrassed your mom if your dad was Atai and not the former speaker? Yvonne Nelson asked. And I read, Yeshua's nigger has wondered if part of Yvonne Nelson's frustrations, as captured in her memoir, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, stemmed from the fact that an astute man like Mr. Peter Ala Ajete wasn't her father. Owing to the manner in which Yvonne is said to have set her mother up for ridicule in her book, Yeshua's nigger has wondered if the actress was disappointed that the former Speaker of Parliament wasn't her father. Yeshua's nigger said she is forced to ask if Yvonne Nelson would have made this whole matter public if her supposed father was the notorious criminal Atai and not a former speaker. You see, this Yvonne Nelson issue, a lot of people are missing the point. And it's telling you the level of acumen and intellect of Ghanaians. I hear Akoso Japan say, oh, you need to keep some secrets and die with them. Who decides which secrets I should keep? And who decides which secrets I should let out? If you are not ready to write an autobiography and tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, without hiding anything, then do not call it an autobiography. Call it a prosaic book. Call it fiction. Call it prose. An autobiography should contain everything about you that you can remember. You should never tweak or twist anything until you are ready to tell nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You should never try to write an autobiography. And that we learned from long ago. Well, if Yeshua's nigger is asking a question, is Yvonne Nelson disappointed that her father probably was not the Speaker of Parliament, Peter Ala Ajete, a prominent and an astute man of the land? Now, if Atai, the notorious criminal, who is still languishing in the caldron of absolute despondency in some of the jail houses of this country, because information reaching me has said that he's been tossed from one jailhouse to the other for security reasons. Would Yvonne Nelson have come out to say, oh, actually my father is Atai? My brother, my sister, it hurts me when people go this direction. It hurts me when people are trying to cosmeticize issues when they should be dealing with the root cause. They are treating symptoms when they should be dealing with the disease. My God, this is what is called cosmeticism. Hear me now, brethren. Watch it. How many people understand that Yvonne Nelson is going through what is known as identity crisis? How many of us will be strong enough to stand firm and still be talking if we were in the shoes of Yvonne Nelson. Have you read the book? A lot of these people who are talking have not even read one chapter of the book. Have you read it? Do you know what is in Yvonne Nelson's book? Can you walk in her shoes for just 1 minute? Do you know what she went through while she was in school? She is writing her story. Please cut her the slack. Allow her to talk about herself. This is what the young woman is going through. She had a deadly abortion. She never believed that she'll be pregnant again. Anytime she moved towards a man, that thing struck a chord in her head. You are going to get pregnant again. You are going to have screws pushed deep inside you, scooping up things, and you will feel like your womb is going to be scooped out. Anytime she moved towards a man, she remembered in 2010 when she had to lie down on the surgeon's table and open up herself and allow foreign implements and tools to be inserted deep inside her. How many of us see that as mental torture? 2010, she followed a rapper who seemed to be futureless. A rapper who did not even have a single hit. But she could see from afar that this person would make it big. Followed the rapper. Got pregnant by the rapper. Abandoned by the rapper. And I hear people say, oh, because she was promiscuous, she's a whore. For that matter, it's good that the rapper abandoned her. And I look at these people and I say, oh, Jesus Christ. Do we understand mental health? Or do we only think that people who strip naked on the street are those who are suffering from mental health? Listen, Yvonne Nelson competed in the Miss Ghana competition. She almost won the crown. When other people were bribing and throwing money around, she came from a very, very poor home and had nothing. It took the Mirror newspaper to put her on the front page as captured in her book to be able to give her some prominence. But because of a poor education and the fact that she was not eloquent, she was not able to move beyond her physical beauty. The intellect was low. She couldn't answer questions. In the book she wrote, it took Shirley Frimpong Manso to come over to her backstage and say, Yvonne, oh, what happened to you? She wanted Yvonne to win. She was somebody who was tipped to win. But no, she fell flat. Can you imagine living for about 40 years, still battling to know who your father is? Can you imagine that you were born pretty? In a book she wrote that she used to be chubby, in fact fat. But she had to work it out to keep her figure the way it is now. Do you know what it takes to keep a slim figure when you naturally are not slim? Several days of going to the gym, several days of swallowing things, several days of pushing aside what you truly want to eat and eating what you hate. Do we understand what that is? My brother, my sister, instead of insulting Yvonne, instead of coming out and calling her names, you cowards, write your own deadly stories. Some of you are so ashamed of your stories, you can't even write a single chapter. In fact, you cannot even write a single paragraph. It will be so nauseating, so terrible, so dirty, that Satan himself will bow down before you and worship you. Some of you people, your stories are so dirty, so bloody. Some of you killed your husbands. Some of you killed your boyfriends. Some of you slept with dogs. Some of you kissed the backsides of pigs. Some of you, your story is so terrible that Satan will be student in your class. Jesus. That's why Jesus Christ told them straight away, those without a fault, be the first to cast that stone. And all of them dropped the stone and moved back into their shameless situations. It hurts me that a young, beautiful lady who has been betrayed by the system. What does it matter if my father was Atai? What does it matter if my father was even Nanado, who cannot be truthful for once? What does it matter if my father was a pot-bellied president with no respect for himself and the nation? What does it matter if my father was a killer like Rawlings? What does it matter if my father was a corrupt idiot like the guy we have in Cameroon, Paul Biya? What does it matter if my father, my brother, my sister was a deadly thief like Mobutu Sese Seko Kuku Ngbendi was a banger? I know you want to hear that name again. Mobutu Sese Seko Kuku Ngbendi was a banger. What does it matter if my father was Edson Arantes de Nascimento, aka Well Pele? I know you want to hear that name again. Edson Arantes de Nascimento. Even he denied and disowned his own daughter. His daughter died. He refused to even go for the funeral, let alone even send a flower. Just as he was about to die, he called his grandchildren from the same woman that he had denied and apologized to them and begged for forgiveness. My brother, my sister, let's be careful when we start throwing stones. These days I don't understand. Anytime I start speaking in the black pot, it looks like Satan just wants the time so that I need to run quickly and I will leave here. I really don't understand. It's already 5 minutes more to end this thing and I just started speaking. It's terrible, my brother, my sister. Leave Yvonne Nelson alone. She has written a brilliant book. It's a blockbuster of a bestseller. Let her make money from out of a book. Let her make money from telling her story. I said, some of you cannot even dare write one sentence of your story because it's so gory. I don't know if you understand that word. So gory, so bloody, so nauseating, so tremendously disastrous. Hallelujah. Calm down, Blakk Rasta. I'm going to quickly look at this, and I believe Satan will roll back the time so we can talk plenty. Galamsey fight. Charles Bissou turns himself in to the special prosecutor. Well, we all know Charles Bissou. He went to court and he got the court to say, hey, special prosecutor, there's an issue, a substantive issue we are dealing with. You have no right to arrest this man or order a warrant on his arrest. He has finally gone into the special prosecutor, and according to this story, he's been arrested by him and of course granted bail. Our fight, our corruption fight is a mirage. Our corruption fight in this country is a fleeting illusion. The president is pretending to be fighting corruption, yet Alistair Matthias can come out boldly and tell us between 40 million and 60 million American dollars worth of gold smuggled out of this country every month, not every year. And that the president was his own lawyer. President came out barking like a mad dog. My brother, my sister, barking, wow, 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 all over the place, barking at Al Jazeera. Right now, the president has recoiled into his shameful nest. It hurts me. So what was all that noise for? Disgraceful president. I thought by now they would have written to Al Jazeera to say, hey, we are taking you to court because we gave you an ultimatum and you couldn't deal with that. You are behaving like the Nogoko people. 14 days if you don't come here, we'll show you where cosmic energy is. They ended up disgracing the people of Nogoko. Just one or two greedy people. They have put the whole of Nogoko into some kind of thing which we cannot even describe. We were warning them right from the start. Please approach this with common sense. Approach this with tactfulness. Approach this well. PR disaster, greed, show of power, power play. At the end of the day, they have reduced Nogoko Shrine to nothing. Oh my God. Haji Nasari hasn't come. We are waiting to see the bombs coming from Nogoko. The spiritual bombs. I thought by now the earth would have opened to swallow the whole Perez Chapel. I thought that by now some demons will be coming from the headquarters as Asari, who talked about the other time. So that if we saw the demons marching all the way from Nogoko, marching and coming, then we all would say, hey, then there's truly power here. Sometimes some things have to happen for people to take lessons. Charles Bisu, I don't know what I will say. Because if I want to say what I will say, I might end up not saying exactly what I want to say. I leave it here. Last thing I want to look at is this one, which I'm reading from Graphic Online. And it says, Dangote on how his AU passport is ineffective, even with his money. AU passport. AU. Africa Union passport. Hallelujah. I read. Some countries in Africa are still granting easy entry and exit for holders of the specialized passport by the African Union. This is nearly 7 years after the introduction of the Africa-wide passport, which is meant to remove restrictions on Africans' ability to travel, work, trade, and live within the 54 countries of the continent. Dangote says his AU passport is useless. Do you want to know how useless the AU passport is? Try to enter Nigeria by road, get to Semeboda. They will ask you, na passport with a chop. Make una pay money. Na passport with a chop. It's terrible. Eric Mawena Egbert is in the house. Today he's wearing a whole black suit. And it looks very good on him. My brother, my sister. The pink socks is on.